When the government was exposed for this project, they tried to justify their actions by saying that these people were probably gonna wind up contracting it anyways. In our sixth spot today,
the government crazy, bro. What's good, Dark Knight gang? I'm Neptune. Hey, bro, most amazing top 10 secret government projects that ruined lives. Oh my God, this is about to be fire. It's Friday. Everybody have a good day. Have a great day. As you can tell, I'm loving life. You know what I'm saying? Life is good. Life is great. Let's hop into this video. Let's catch these vibes together. Let's see some secret government projects that ruined lives. Y'all know I'm a nerd for this type of stuff, bro. Listen, it is what it is. Let's hop into this video. Shout out to the gang. Everybody have a great weekend. You already know. Let's go.
Today we are looking at everything from unethical tests performed on innocent humans to people being tricked into experiments. Buckle your seatbelt, it's going to be a wild ride. Starting off this countdown, we have the VPEHOLM experiments. This was a series of experiments in Sweden from 1945 to 1955. It's literally going to make you sick to your stomach when you find out what they did. Basically, they force-fed people with mental illness sweets to see if sugar was related to tooth decay. Imagine people just cramming food down your throat against your will. It's very gross. These experiments were conducted by the government and sponsored by the sugar industry. The experiments lasted for about 2 years, and by then the teeth of about 50 of the subjects in the experiment had been completely ruined. In our ninth spot,
so the government and sugar said, hey, we're gonna get a whole bunch of slow kids together. We're gonna force feed them sugar and see how sugar affects them. Hey, the government, crazy. That's kind of shady. Look, I'm laughing because it's just like, yo, that's insane. It's insane to think the type of things we do to one another. That's like out of this world. You know what I'm saying? But all in the name of science. You feel me?
we had the UK Special Demonstration Squad. This is the name of a group of undercover police officers in the UK. Now, the things that they did are going to shock you. For example, they would steal birth certificates and identities of people that had died at a young age. They'd make sure that they would be around their age and then use their identities. The younger the person died, the better, because that means they didn't already live a life that they would have to cover up. And then they would go around with this new identity. Some cases they actually got into relationships with women, but the whole time they did so just to spy on them. In November of 2015, the Metropolitan Police Force apologized to 7 women tricked into relationships by these officers. You can't trust nobody. Imagine that, dating someone you're madly in love with, sometimes even having a kid with them, only for them to be like, oh, sorry, gotta go, was only dating you to get intel on you and your friend circle. It's disgusting, and it's actually happened to multiple women.
That's dope. In our 8th. Nah, that's crazy though. That's crazy. Imagine you dating a chick, bro, and then bam, she just like, oh, I was a spy the whole time. I'm out of here, cuz. And you madly in love with her, like, what about our family? Damn. Hey, whoever did that, like those agents, they fired for that. That's different. That's kind of dope. That's kind of dope.
In our 7th spot, we have the hepatitis tests. In 1956, the US government began running tests on young individuals living at the Willowbrook State School in Staten Island. This was a state-supported institution for children with intellectual disabilities. And what they did to these students was give them hepatitis in order to track the development of the viral infection. Of course, they were being experimented on without knowledge or consent. To make matters worse, the study lasted 14 years. They also injected them with a number of drugs to see what they would do to their body and the hepatitis. Damn. Imagine intentionally making a group of people sick for an experiment. The grossest part is that when the government was exposed for this project, they tried to justify their actions by saying that these people were probably gonna wind up contracting it anyways. In our 6th spot today,
The government crazy, bro. The government. they gave them hepatitis and they got caught and was like, look, they was gonna get it anyway, eventually. Like, chill. What you gonna do about it? Whoa! Things that the government, we just don't know. Like, I've never heard of that. What if COVID was a test? The whole thing. What if it was a biological weapon test that they're testing out?
We have Operation Popeye. This is another very wild one.
All right,
Operation Popeye was a highly classified weather modification program during the Vietnam War from 1967 to 1972. You heard me correctly. The government learned how to control the weather. Basically, they wanted to increase rainfall in certain areas to prevent enemies and military supply trucks from being able to travel. In fact, they caused a number of landslides and flooding in that area. Weather manipulation has since been banned from use for military gain. We are now at our 5th.
That's pretty dope. Well, we now know how to control weather. I didn't even know that. That's insane. But we know how to control weather. She just literally just proved it. But that's fire. That's fire. If I was in the military and I learned how to control weather, I would use that against my enemies too, of course. What do you mean? That's pretty dope. I didn't know we had that technology, man. That's cool.
And a halfway mark with HIV. In the 1980s, the HIV epidemic broke out. No one knew how it spread, they just knew that it should be feared, and tons of LGBTQ+ community members were sadly contracting the virus. Well, rumor has it that HIV was a government experiment that was meant to wipe out the undesirables. Of course, the US government has denied this claim, and it's just a conspiracy, we don't know for sure. But based on the other experiments done on minority groups, it's hard to know what to believe. In our 4th
That's a conspiracy right there. I've never heard that one before. That's crazy. Would you put that past the government? I don't know. Like, innocent until proven guilty. You feel me? So I would have to do research on that topic because I've never done research on that. But that would be crazy if the evidence is pointing towards that. Would you put that past the government? I don't know. They was like, we got to get them out of here. Yo, that's mind-blowing. I'm loving this video, bro. It's a great day. Let's keep going.
This is another very messed up government project. During the 1950s, the US government was using stillborns to conduct radiation tests on. They wanted to determine the effects that radiation would have on humans and how much we could withstand in case of a nuclear fallout. They called this Project Sunshine, and it was anything but rainbows and sunshine. What's sad is that the government was stealing body parts and tissues from morgues without families' consent. It said that more than 1,500 samples were gathered worldwide. This is incredibly sad and sick. Coming in at number 2.
I don't think that one is sad. They're already dead. It's like, bro, they're already dead. They're not coming back. You feel me? So let us just experiment on this body and just see what's up. I don't think that's bad. When I die, I'll donate my body. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gone. I'm dead. I have no more use for my body. Anyway, let's keep going.
We have these syphilis experiments. In 1932, the US Public Health Service created an experiment to see the health effects of untreated syphilis. But the test subjects were told that they were receiving free treatment to cure their syphilis. And that was a lie. Instead of giving the men the recommended penicillin treatment, they gave them placebos, like aspirin. Sadly, 28 men died of syphilis because of these experiments, 100 more passed away from syphilis-related complications, and 40 spouses contracted this disease. And 19 women who gave birth passed on syphilis to their newborn children. In 1997, Bill Clinton apologized to the survivors and their families on behalf of the government. And he admitted that the tests were, and I quote, profoundly and morally wrong. And in our number 1 spot...
I mean, that's true. But damn, they ain't get no money. They ain't get nothing. They got an apology. Okay. Like, what I'm gonna do with that apology, nigga?
And in our #1 spot today, we have the radiation tests. In 1953, a number of tests were done on pregnant women to see the effects that radioactive iodine would have on them and their newborns. These studies were terrible. In one study, researchers gave these women doses of iodine 131. Sadly, they all miscarried. When they did, they continued to study the women's aborted embryos. Another study took place after World War II. 829 pregnant mothers in Tennessee were given vitamin drinks. They were informed that these drinks would improve their health and their babies. But it actually contained radioactive iron, and the researchers wanted to see how fast the radioisotopes crossed into the placenta. Several of the young passed away from these experiments. 4 died from cancers as a result of the experiments, and the women experienced rashes, bruises, anemia, hair and tooth loss, and cancer as well. Meanwhile, they just wanted the best for their babies and thought that this drink was going to help them, not kill them. All right, guys, that's all for today.
All right, bro. Great video. Great video. Let's talk about that last one. I basically gave my reaction, you know what I'm saying, throughout. I gave my thoughts on everyone throughout for the most part. Let's talk about that last one. That's insane. They couldn't find volunteers. So they said, hey, we're going to take, I think she said like 300 and something pregnant women and run these experiments on them, and they're going to have no clue. They're actually going to think what we're giving them is good for them, but it might kill them. That's some villain shit. Yo, the government is the villain, guys. That is insane, bro. Did you hear that? They took pregnant women, bro, and we were just like, all right. Yeah, we're going to tell them it's good for them, but let's see what it really does. That's so evil. Crazy. Shout out to the gang. Thank you guys so much for requesting this video. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. I would love to read the comments, see what you guys got to say. Listen, all videos I dropped today, you already know they all fire. Shout out to the gang. Everybody have a great weekend. Peace.